Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Bersua lagi kita di slot ketiga program kolaborasi panitia sains kita. Jadi untuk memulakan majlis, saya menjemput saudara Ashraf untuk membacakan doa. Dipersilakan.
Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Arrahmanir rahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Tuhan kami, hanya padamu sahaja kami panjatkan kesyukuran atas segala rahmat dan berkat-Mu. Bersempena dengan majlis pada hari ini, kami memohon hidayah dan taufik-Mu. Kurniakanlah kesejahteraan dan kebahagiaan kepada kami. Bukakanlah hati-hati kami, lapangkanlah dada kami, supaya kami dapat mengisi ilmu dan pengetahuan yang berguna untuk agama, bangsa dan negara. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Kami memohon kepadamu agar engkau berkatilah majlis ini dengan limpahan rahmat-Mu. Semoga segala usaha kami dalam menjayakan majlis ini mendapat keredaan dan hidayah-Mu. Sesungguhnya pada hari ini kami berkumpul kerana-Mu, Ya Allah. Kami berkumpul untuk menimba ilmu, bertukar pendapat, menyumbangkan buah fikiran, menghubungkan silaturahim dan memberi sokongan ke arah meningkatkan lagi prestasi jabatan kami. Ya Allah, Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram. Kami memohon kekuatan dan hadrat-Mu, Ya Allah, supaya kami yang hadir pada hari ini agar kami dapat melaksanakan segala kebajikan dan kami pohon perlindungan dengan Engkau daripada melakukan keburukan. Ya Allah, kurniakanlah kepada kami kekayaan ilmu pengetahuan dan hiasilah diri kami dengan sifat lemah lembut, serta muliakanlah kami dengan ketakwaan dan indahkanlah diri kami dengan kesihatan. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabbihi wasallam. Walhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Terima kasih saudara Ashraf. Jadi tanpa melengahkan masa, izinkan saya memperkenalkan guru jemputan kita di slot ketiga pada petang ini. Beliau merupakan seorang YouTuber dan beliau juga pernah mewakili Malaysia dalam program ILEP, International Leaders in Education Program 2017 di Pennsylvania, US, dan juga program HESA, Honeywell Educators at Space Academy 2015 Alabama, US. Jadi siapakah guru yang cukup handal jemputan kita pada petang ini? Saya dengan ini mempersembahkan Cikgu Teo. Hello Cikgu, ada ke?
Hai Cikgu, saya di sini. Hai, ini Ani . Selamat petang semua.
Cikgu sihat Cikgu?
Sihat.
Cikgu boleh teruskanlah.
Kita boleh mula ya. Okey, izinkan saya share screen. Okey, pertama sekali terima kasih semua. Terima kasih Cikgu Datin Aniza jemput saya petang ni untuk program kecemerlangan akademik sains tingkatan 3 lah ya. So pertama sekali, semua orang boleh dengar suara saya?
Boleh.
Jelas. Nampak kan? Boleh nampak skrin tak?
Boleh.
Ya, saya Cikgu Teo Ham. Saya guru sains daripada SMK Jelutong, Pulau Pinang. Okay, so ini lebih kurang apa yang saya rancangkan untuk hari ini. So for our science, saya switch bahasa ya. Okay, for our science, I will focus on calculation. Okay, especially chapter 7 and chapter 8. For chapter 7, we will go briefly the Ohm's law, series circuit and parallel circuit. Then we'll discuss some PT3 format questions, the examples, and I'll give you a short quiz. All right. And then maybe we can take 5 before we come back for chapter 8, especially the moment of force. Okay. In order to understand the moment of force, we will revisit the level. Okay. I will teach you a password for our level. And then also we will go through some examples in PD3 format, and then we'll go into quiz. So before we start, I would like all of you in your chat session, okay, write down your name, your nickname, and choose one emoji that best describe your relationship with science. All right. In the chat session, in one, don't separate it into three, okay? So write down your name, okay, your nickname, and then the emoji that best describe you and your relationship with science.
Hello, cikgu.
Yeah.
Suara slow lah. Dia macam slow sikit.
Cikgu
Oh,
Teo,
slow,
suara
huh?
cikgu macam perlahan sangat lah.
Oh ya ke? Kalau macam ni?
Okay.
Okay. Bagus. So now I would like you in the chat session, write down your name, your nickname, and one emoji that best describe your relationship with science. Well, I see Noreen Christina here. Her nickname is Noreen and her emoji is a smiley face. Anyone else want to tell me? I will put down mine. Okay, Haziq is a wink. Nurul Atika, boy, ada star dekat mata. Okay. Bagus. Any more? Well, there is 200 of you here. Oh, Amir tak suka sains, tak apa. We will repair the relationship later, okay? Shazira is also a heart. Handsome boy, boy. Ira, Dizzy. Dia pening dah nak belajar sains. Okay, good. So that tells me that most of you are here. They're coming in now. Paris, give me a good victory sign. I like that. All right. Arman, give me a thumbs up. Alap, dia terbalik terus. Okay. It's okay. All right, let's begin. All right, so for today, thank you very much. You can still keep it coming so your friend can interact with you. So our learning objective today, I will take it from our Form 2 DSKP. Okay, is to elaborate and communicate about the flow of current in series circuit and parallel circuit, classify and solve problems involving lever based on the position of fulcrum, load, and effort, and also explain and communicate about the moment of force. What does that mean for you? You are successful today if, okay, at the end of today's session, I can apply Ohm's law to find I, V, and R. You'll be able to calculate I, V, and R in series circuit and parallel circuit. I can calculate F, the force, and D, the distance, by using the principle of moment of force. Okay, so that suggests that all of us need to have our calculator today. Okay, so if you do not have your calculator with you, okay, you have 1 minute to go grab it now. It will be very useful later. All right, so let's start. What is Ohm's law? Before we know Ohm's law, we need to know three very important terms. Okay, and the first term is electric current. Electrical appliances require electric charge to operate, and energy needed for electric charges to flow can be generated from sources like electrical generators, dry cells. Dry cells is your batteries or solar cells. Okay, so electric current is actually the rate of flow of electric charges through a conductor. Okay, how do we know there is electric current? We can connect the wires to a galvanometer. If the needle on galvanometer move to the left or to the right, that means that there is a flow of electric current. But if we want to measure it, we use ammeter. This is what ammeter looks like. All right. And this is very important. In order to answer question for series circuit and parallel circuit, okay, we must know the symbol and the unit. For electric current, if we want to write electric current is a lot of words, okay? And we have to do a lot of work. So we have a symbol to represent the word electric current. That is I. Okay, when you see I, it means electric current. What do I mean by unit? Unit for electric current is ampere. Unit, we use it together with number. Okay, when we use unit, we use it together with number. So for example, I equals to 3 ampere, 3A. So unit is for the number. Symbol is what we use to represent the term electric current. You will be more understand when we look at example later, yeah? Okay, so next will be our voltage, okay? I will share this notes with you later, so don't worry about copying. If any one of you are trying to take picture or trying to copy, don't worry about it. Okay, I will give you the link to download this. So voltage, what is voltage? Voltage is potential difference between 2 points. It's measured by voltmeter. It looks like this, and the unit is also volt, V. So symbol is also V. That's very easy. For resistance, is the ability for a conductor to limit or resist the flow of electric current. Okay, a fixed resistor, the resistance we cannot adjust, but for a variable resistor or rheostat, we can adjust the resistance, and the unit will be ohm. Okay, ohm with a symbol that we, this symbol is called omega. Yeah, so the symbol for R, for resistance is R, the unit will be ohm. Okay, so what is the relationship between current, voltage, and resistance? So same thing, these are 3 very important words in this chapter if we are doing calculation. Okay, I, V, and R. I will be current, and the unit we use is ampere. V will be voltage, the unit V. R will be resistance, and the unit will be ohm. Why do I keep repeating this? If you can get a hang of this, it will be a lot easier for you to understand. Yes.
The screen is freezing. It didn't move.
The screen is?
Freeze.
It's still in electric current.
Maksudnya tak nampak sepenuhnya lah, cikgu.
Tak
Tak
bergerak.
nampak cikgu punya screen tak nampak sepenuhnya.
Is it in the relationship now?
Tapi kan cikgu dia ada line kat tepi tu, dia menutup sebahagian daripada screen tadi.
Oh ya ke? Saya stop
ya.
share dulu lah.
Okay.
Jom kita cuba lagi ya.
Tak apa cikgu Teo. Yang bahagian tepi-tepi screen yang ke kanan tadi tu dah tak nampak lah. Macam ni dia tak penuh, tapi kalau you punya words sampai kat tepi tadi, sampai habis tadi, so yang tepi yang dah ke kanan, paling kanan tu dia akan tertutup dah perkataan tu.
Oh ya ke? Sekarang okey tak?
Sekarang sebab kalau yang ni saja nampak, kalau you punya full screen, kalau ada sampai perkataan habis sampai ke kanan, sampai ke hujung tadi, so you takkan nampak lah yang hujung-hujung ke kanan tadi tu.
Oh ya ke?
You faham tak I cakap apa?
Saya cuba fahamkan. Tak apa, saya cuba tukar setting.
Betul ke student? Yang cikgu cakap tadi, perkataan yang sebelah kanan tadi kan, yang awak semua tak nampak kan? Betul ke?
Betul.
Betul cikgu.
Boy, okay.
Tak apa cikgu Teo, try dulu. It's okay, never mind. Macam
how about now?
Macam ni you see, tengok ni kan parallel circuit, kalau able tu dah tak nampak, flow off tu je half je. Yang ke kanan lagi dah tak nampak.
Kalau macam ni?
Macam ni pun sama, tak nampak dah di kanan tu. Sebab
Kenapa?
dia tertutup dengan kotak yang apa ni cikgu? Dia tertutup dengan kotak yang ni.
Tutup dengan kotak
kotak yang ada you dekat dalam gambar tu kan. Dia tertutup dengan kotak tu.
Masih lagi tutup
Ya betul. Student, you all tak boleh tolong ke macam mana nak adjustkan supaya cikgu Teo punya screen tu boleh nampak overall dekat ni? Dekat laptop, dekat paparan dekat kita tu boleh nampak full ya? Cikgu pun tak tahu nak.
Rasanya kalau kat
Nampak full.
kat corner atas gambar-gambar orang tu, corner sebelah kanan atas ada butang minus. Tekan butang minus ni dia tutup gambar-gambar orang lain. Dia tutup kotak gambar.
Okey, jap ya.
Tak apa cikgu, pelan-pelan.
Kalau macam ini, okey tak? Saya dah tutup dah, saya dah tutup bagi dia minus dah.
Still lagi, I pun tak nampak habis juga cikgu.
Kalau nak kasi ganda.
Macam mana
Sekarang
you all student?
Tak perlu buat ni kot. Tak perlu buat slideshow kot.
tak perlu buat slideshow macam ni?
Macam ni kalau saya nampak.
Tapi kan generate elektrik tu macam tu dah tak nampak tau Kak Niza.
Mana
Macam kita
generate
guna
elektrik?
laptop kan, elect je. Trik sebelah sambungan ke kanan tu dah tak nampak dah. Macam tu.
Kalau, sekejap
Tak, okey, sekarang ni kalau kita tengok ayat tu, okey, so yang ni nampak semua kan? Yang
yang ni
voltage ni
nampak.
kan?
Nampak.
Yang ni
Nampak.
Yang ni nampak.
Okey.
kalau yang ni dia nampak sampai mana?
Elektrik
Nampak
current.
semua, nampak semua.
Semua.
Nampak semua.
Tunjuk jelas. Lebih
Nampak
nyata.
yang ni all.
Jelas.
Nampak.
Kalau macam ni,
Belakang tu
Jelas.
dah hilang dah.
nampak semua tak?
Nampak.
Nampak jelas. Nampak semua.
Nampak semua.
Nampak jelas.
Dia jelas sangat je.
Boleh.
Nampak semua.
Nampak.
Okey, maksudnya boleh sambung lah ya?
Boleh.
Boleh.
Okay, thank goodness. Okay, so IVR, this is very important, yeah, these three things. So I'm sorry about the hiccup. Let's hope that there's no more hiccup later, yeah. So the relationship between IV and R is called the Ohm's law. All right, the Ohm's law. Ohm's law stated that V equals to IR. Okay, V equals to IR. In exam, if the question asks you, what is Ohm's law? Okay, Ohm's law states that the electric current that flows through a conductor is directly proportional to the voltage across two ends of the conductor. Okay, provided the temperature and other physical situation remains unchanged. In another word, V equals to IR. That means if I increase, V will also increase. Okay, that is basically what these words mean. If you can memorize this, very good. If you cannot memorize this, write down V equals to IR. That will earn you some point. It might not be full marks, all right? So Ohm's law states that V equals to IR, but the question can be very naughty sometimes. Okay, the teacher will not ask you to find V. They will ask you to find what is I. What is R? Then how do I know what is I? The question that I learned, Ohm's law, V equals to IR. So there is a trick. You need to know this triangle. Okay, so in this triangle, this is a house. You have to remember there's two floors. Upstairs, we have V. Downstairs, we have I and R living side by side. Okay, so if you can remember this triangle. Okay, kalau boleh hafal segitiga ini, semua soalan Ohm's law, you don't have to worry about V or I or R. Why? Let me show you. If the question say what is V, use your finger, close the V. Tutup V tu. Okay, yang tinggal hanya I dan R. We have I and R. So V equals to I dan R sebab dia duduk sebelah-sebelah kan. Okay, it is next to each other. So I times R. If the question asks I, then tutup I. We use our finger, we cover I. So what is left? V duduk atas, R duduk bawah. Kalau kita tutup I, apa yang ada kat screen tu V dan R saja. So if V is on top of R, that means I equals to V divided by R. Okay, and what is R? Same principle. Use your finger, cover R, then you have V divided by I. Okay, so let's look at one example. What is the resistance of a car light bulb that conducts 0.025 ampere current when connected to a 12-volt car accumulator? Okay, so when we get question, okay, when we have question about calculation, always write down what you know first. So we know there is 0.025A. What is A? A is ampere, and what is that? That is a electric current. So I equals to 0.025A. And then we also know 12 volts. So V equals to 12 volt. What does the question want us to find? Let's read the question again. What is the resistance? Okay, what is the resistance? So what is R? R equals to So we have our triangle. So because the question wants us to find R, okay? So use your finger, close the R, and we know R equals to V di atas, I di bawah, V divided by I. So R equals to V bahagi I equals to 12 divided by 0.025. Okay, use your calculator and you have 480 ohm. Okay, 480 ohm. Yes, that's right. Okay, we have Anik answering in the chat. Very good. Okay, so next, example 2. Same thing, write down all that you know from the question. A resistor has a resistance of 9 ohm. Write down straight away, R equals to 9 ohm. The current flowing through the resistor is 3A. So I equals to 3A. What is the voltage across the resistor? V. We don't know. We want to find V. Same thing, we have the triangle, close the V. V equals to I times R, 3 times 9. That should be easy, 27 volt. Okay, so this is the foundation. Okay, ini basic yang awak kena tahu dulu sebelum kita tengok series or selari. Okay, yes, very good, Danish. Now, let's go into our main topic today, series circuit and parallel circuit. Before we look at the circuit, sebelum kita tengok lita, we have to know the symbol of electrical component. This is a revision, so I will go really quickly. This is a switch, dry cell or batteries, okay? Voltmeter, galvanometer, ammeter. This will be our light bulb, okay? Menthol and resistor, fuse, and this is a variable resistor. When there is an arrow, that means perintang ni, rintangan dia kita boleh ubah. Okay, we can change the resistance. Okay, mostly we will only see the switch, the voltmeter, the dry cell, ammeter, bulb, or resistor. Okay, we don't really see the fuse or the variable resistor in our question at PT3. Yeah. Okay, so what is a series circuit? You only have to remember series circuit ialah satu hala sahaja, one way ticket. Dia traffic dia one way saja. So we follow the batteries first. Let's look at the batteries in the circuit on your left. Okay, yang sebelah kiri ni. Okay, we have dry cell, positive, negative, positive, negative. So we follow positive first. Follow the liter. Go, and then we go through first light bulb, second light bulb, third light bulb, we go back to the batteries. There's only one way. Okay, same goes to the circuit on the right, also only one way. So this is a series circuit. For series circuit, here is our formulas. Okay, so we have current. The current is the same everywhere. I equals to I1 equals to I2 equals to I3. Okay, because there's only one way. The current can only flow through one way. So everywhere it is the same. The current will be the same. The voltage, however, V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. And resistance is also a sum of all the resistor that is in the circuit. So here are the formulas that you have to remember. And we will also use Ohm's law in the question that we find I, V, or R in series circuit. Okay, so this one you will have to remember. Okay, you have to memorize. So let's look at an example. First, some question is very kind. They tell you this is a series circuit. Some question they don't tell you at all. You have to know if this is series or parallel. And here is what my student always ask me. Teacher, there is more than one way. See, from 6 volt from the battery here, I go to ammeter, then I can go to R1 or I can go to V1. There's already two ways. This must be a parallel. No, okay? We ignore the voltmeter. Ignore the voltmeter. We follow either the resistor or the bulb. Okay? Voltmeter will always be connected to a resistor or a bulb in a parallel way. So ignore the voltmeter. We do not let the voltmeter come and distract us. Okay. So if we ignore the voltmeter, the current will flow. Okay, ignore the voltmeter. Okay. So we go to R1, go to R2, and come back to 6 volts. So this is a series circuit. So two resistors R1 and R2 are connected in series in a circuit shown in the figure. Calculate effective resistance R, current I, and the voltage V1 and V2. So certain words you can see R is a capital R without 1, 2, 3. I is also an I, but V1, V2, they tell you I want V1 and V2. What does that mean? Okay, so the first one, here is your formulas that we will need. So the first one, I or V or R, this is the keseluruhan, effective resistance R. Secara keseluruhan, resistance dia berapa? Okay, rintangan berapa? Voltage, same thing. V1, V2, V3, R1, R2, R3, I1, I2, I3 depends on how many resistor you have in that circuit or how many light bulb you have in that circuit. Each one individual one, we give them a name, the first one, the second one, the third one. Okay, so that is what it means for the little 1, 2, 3 there. All right, so we will solve this question one by one. Okay, so let's look at A first, the effective resistance. Okay, if we want to find the resistance R, okay, which one of the formula that we will need? We need this one. Okay, so R equals to R1 plus R2. We don't have R3, so we don't need the R3. Write it down, and we already have R1, R2 from the question, so it is very easy. The answer will be 4 ohm. So we write it at the side. B, we want to find the current, and we know currents I equals to I1 equals to I2. It should be very easy. Let's look for I2, I1 or I2. But the question did not give us I1 or I2. We cannot find I then. Don't worry, this is when we need our Ohm's law. That is why Ohm's law is your base. Okay, you need to know Ohm's law. We will use it quite often in our series circuit or parallel circuit. So in our Ohm's law, we need V and R. Okay, so I equals to V divided by R. Do we have V or do we have R? So the I here that we want to find in the question is I keseluruhan. Tak ada 1, 2, 3. Maksudnya kalau kita guna Ohm's law, when we use this Ohm's law, the V and R, we cannot use V1 or R1 or R2. We also use the keseluruhan. Again, V divided by R. So do we have V? Yes. It is not V1 or V2. It is the keseluruhan, the one at the battery. Okay, so the V keseluruhan, the total voltage, we always find them in the batteries. Okay, so our V is 6 volt and our R, just now we already find it in question A. So we have V, we have R settled. Okay, V6 divided by 4 R. So the answer will be 1.5. Don't forget your ampere, the unit. Okay, so write it down in B at the side. C, now the question 1, V1 and V2. Okay, we know V. V equals to V1 plus V2. We know V, but what is V1 and what is V2? Some student will divide it by 2. Dia terus bahagi 2, seorang ambil separuh. Tak boleh ya. In this question, it is correct because R1 and R2 is the same. If R1 and R2 is not the same, V1 and V2 is not the same. It can be V1 5, V2 1. As long as this dua-dua ni campur dapat 6. No, okay. So we don't know V1, V2. That is when we have to come back to Ohm's law again. Okay. So if we close the V, it equals to I times R. So V1 is equal to I1 times R1. So look at this one. When we want to look for, we want to find V1, that means I and R must be 1 as well. But because I1, look at the current at the side here, yeah? The formula, the first formula. I1 is also equal to I because we don't know I1. From this question, they don't give us I1, but we have I from question B just now. Okay, so we can use I because I is also the same as I1 in series circuit. So we can use I times R1. I is 1.5. Okay, from B just now. We find it from B. And R1 is 2 ohm. So we get 3 volt. V2 I times R2 because R2 is the same. So it's also 3 volt. That's right, Christina. Thank you. All right. So C, V1 equals to 3 volt. V2 equals to 3 volt. That is our series circuit. So what are some advantages of series circuits? Every component in the circuit receives the same amount of current because there's only one-way traffic. And every component is controlled by the same switch. We only need one switch. We turn it on, all the 3 bulbs turn on. You want to turn it off, you turn it off, all the three bulbs will be out. Okay, increase the voltage will supply more electric current. The disadvantage is when one electrical appliances is damaged. Kalau satu mentor ini burn, okay, one of this is out, the rest of the electrical appliance will not function because the electric current cannot jump, ya. Okay, dia tak boleh lompat, Okay, so adding more electrical appliances will increase resistance and decrease the flow of current. So that means if you have more light bulb, then the light bulb will become dimmer. It will not be as bright. Each electrical appliance cannot be switched off individually. So imagine the light bulb number 1 is in your room, light bulb number 2 in your father's room, in your parents' room, light bulb number 3 in your sister's room. You turn it on, all 3 light bulbs turn on. So that is an disadvantage. Okay, if you turn it off, all the lights turn off. All right, so it can be advantage, it can be disadvantage. Advantage, you only need one switch. Disadvantage, you cannot turn off individually. How about parallel circuit? Okay, so kalau study just now, series circuit, we only have one-way traffic. Parallel circuit, we have more than one way. Okay, when they are separated into different paths, and every parallel path has at least one electrical components. So let's look at the one on the left. Kalau kita ikut, we follow from the dry cell positive, jalan. Okay, the first one, we can come here, or we can corner go down, or we can go down some more. So there are actually 3 circuits here. Okay, there are 3 complete circuits here. This is a parallel circuit. Same goes to the one on your right. Okay. So for parallel circuit, the current this time is not the same because we have 3 different or more than one paths. So I equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3, but the voltage will be the same. Okay, the voltage is the same. The resistance is the one that is a bit tricky. Okay, so for parallel circuit, kalau nak cari resistance, if we want to find resistance, 1 per R equals to 1 per R1 plus 1 per R2 plus 1 per R3. How do we use it? I will show you in an example later, yeah? And we should not forget our Ohm's law. Ohm's law will follow you whether it is a series circuit or parallel circuit. All right? So this is a parallel circuit. Again, we ignore the voltmeter, yeah? We ignore the voltmeter. We look for either resistor or the bulb. So in this example here, we have resistor. Okay, R1, R2. So this is a parallel because there are 2 complete circuit here. Okay, so the question wants us to find effective resistance, voltage, and current. So we have our formula here. Okay, so for the resistance untuk R, which formula should we use? This one. Okay, the third one. 1 per R equals to 1 per R1 plus 1 per R2 plus 1 per R3. Okay, so we only have 2, so 1 per R1 plus 1 per R2. So we already have R1 and R2 from the question, fill in the blanks. And now how do we solve for R? So you settle the fraction here first. 1 per 3 plus 1 per 3 equals to 2 per 3. Now, how do we find R? You do cross multiplication, darab silang. Okay, maksudnya, what does that mean? 1 and 3 will be good friends. 2 and R will be another friend. The one opposite and the one that is opposite from him. For example, 1, the opposite is 2, right? We don't take 2, we take 3 because we need to do a cross, darab silang. Okay, we need to do an X like that. Okay, so how do we write it? So 2 times R, 2 and R on one side, 1 times 3 on the other side. Now we solve for R. If we want to solve for R, 2 needs to be moved to the other side. Okay. 2 needs to move to the other side. So R equals to 1 times 3 divided by 2. Okay, 1 times 3 divided by 2, because on the left hand side it is multiplied. Okay, so when we move to the other side, it becomes bahagi, it becomes division. So from here you can find R equals to 1.5 ohm. Okay, 1.5 ohm. So we write down first. So this is the most difficult part for parallel circuit. To find resistance, because it involves fraction. Most of my students can do until 1 per R equals to 2 per 3. Then they cannot solve for R. They forgot how. Okay, so remember this step, cross multiplication. Okay, darab silang. B, voltage. Voltage is the easiest in parallel because it is the same everywhere. Okay, so this question is actually a bonus question. Why? The question asks, what is the voltage? V, the capital V. We look for the battery. The answer is 6 volt. You don't even need to calculate. Okay, so V equals to 6 volt. That's all. All right. How about I? Now the current. You can use I equals to I1 plus I2. But the problem is the question did not give you I1 and I2. You can find I1 and I2, however. Okay, you can find I1 and I2 first, and then add I1 and I2. But that will involve a lot of steps. Let's try to use Ohm's law first. Okay, tutup I dapat V bahagi R. Okay, V divided by R. So can we do this? Do we have enough information? Yes. V, we already got it from question B. R, we got it from question A. So 6 divided by 1.5, you get 4 ampere. Well, teacher, Cikgu Teo, is that correct? If I want to find out I1 and I2, you will actually get the same answer. Let's try it. Okay, so if I1, we want to find I1, so we have to use V1 divided by R1. But we don't have V1. That is not a problem because V1 actually equals to V. It's the same for parallel circuit. So 6 divided by 3, it is 2 ampere. So we find I2. Okay, V2 divided by R2. V2 is 6, R2 is 3, it's also 2 ampere. I1 plus I2, it is also 4 ampere. So whichever way you choose to solve C, you can use Ohm's law or you can use the formula. It will give you the same answer. Okay, so what is the advantage of parallel circuit? Every electrical appliance can be switched on or off separately. This one, you can turn on the light in your room and not turning on the light in your father's or mother's room. Okay, the increase in the number of electrical appliances does not affect the function of other appliances in the same circuit because the voltage is the same. So I can add more light bulbs. They will all shine bright, the same kind of brightness. Okay, this advantage, the voltage for every electrical appliances cannot be adjusted because the voltage is the same throughout the whole parallel circuit. All right, so that is our chapter 7. We have series circuit, parallel circuit, okay, and the Ohm's law. That's all the calculation part. Okay, the other parts I don't cover. Okay, today we'll focus on all the calculation. Yeah. So now your turn to try and solve this. Okay, the following diagram shows a circuit consists of 3 ammeter, X, Y, and Z, connected to a 9-volt power supply. Which one has the largest reading? Now your turn. Try and solve this one and let me know what is your answer in the chat. A, B, C, or D. Okay, someone give me a B. Christina say B. Any other answer? Only one person trying. How about the rest? Oh, everyone follow Christina. B. Okay, Irfan said D. Zakwan said D, C. Ashraf D. So we have B, C, D. Tak ada orang nak pilih A. Kesian. Okay. Any other answer? D. All right. So let's look at this diagram first. Is this a series or parallel circuit? Write down in the comment, no, not in the comment, in the chat. Is this a series or is this a parallel? This is a parallel. Very good. Okay, this is a parallel. So for parallel, okay, is current the same? I sama tak? For all of it. What is the same? Tak sama. What is the same?
Voltage.
Voltage is the same.
Voltage.
So from here, okay, from here, let's look at the diagram. Let's look at the diagram. The ammeter X and Y, that is your I1 and I2. Because X is in the first circuit and Y is in the second circuit. But Z, okay, Z is your I keseluruhan. Why? Because it will come back from X, it will also come back from Y. Both of this will go to Z. So yang Z ini ialah I. X dan Y ialah I1, I2. In parallel circuit, I equals to I1 plus I2. Okay, so Z equal to X plus Y. Which one has the biggest reading? Kalau Z sama dengan X campur Y, so the biggest reading will be Z. Yes. Okay, so because I equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3, so our answer is C. Okay, our answer will be C. So we can try and solve this out. So we can find the I. So for I equals to V divided by R. Okay, so for X, I1, okay, so I equals to V divided by R. For parallel, V is the same, so we can use 9, but the R1 is 6. 9 divided by 6, 1.5 ampere. For Y, okay, 9 divided by 3, because Y belongs here. Y is the I2, okay, so 9 divided by 3, 3 ampere. So Y is bigger than X, but for Z, I equals to I1 plus I2. So 1.3 plus 3, 1.5 plus 3 is 4.5. So our biggest or largest reading will be C, Z. Okay. Another question. What is the reading of the ammeter? Okay. What is the reading of the ammeter? This one you need some time to find out. Okay. First of all, our R1 and R2, these two are, okay? R1 and R2, is that series or parallel? The way ini sambung macam ni?
Series.
Okay, let's see. From positive, we can go to R1, then come back. Then from positive, we can go to R2 and then come back. So?
Parallel.
So you have to find the R first. Yeah, I saw you the answer already. Never mind. Okay, we have to find. We already know the volt, and we want to find the R first before we can find I. Okay, so if I equals, if we look at the Ohm's law, we tutup I equals to V divided by R. Okay, so I equals to V divided by R. We have V, we don't have R. We have to find R first. So from our formula, 1 per R equals to 1 per 6 plus 1 per 3. Okay, so yang 1/3 ni kita kena bagi kaki sama. Okay, 6. So atas ini 3 times 2, atas pun 1 times 2 dapat 2. So 1 per R equals to 1 per 6 plus 2 per 6. Kita dapat 3 per 6. Then darab silang. Okay. So 3 times R. R kawan dia ialah 3. Okay. 1 times 6. Okay. R equals to 1 times 6 divided by 3. Kita dapat 2 ohm. So now we have V, we have R. V 4, R 2. dapat jawapan 2 ampere. Okay, kita dapat jawapan 2 ampere. So for now, I want to let you all try on your own. Okay, I will give you a link. I will let all of you to answer a quiz for me. All right, answer carefully. You have your calculator. Okay, but don't worry too much. Let me bring up the quiz first. Okay, let me see. We have about 240 here. Let me put the link in the chat session and you can type, you can okay. The link is in the chat or you can go to joinmyquiz.com and put in the code. All right. So everyone, let's try some quiz. Okay, I will wait for a little while. You guys are really fast. That's good. 45. Now we have 51, 53. We have 85. 93 students are in, 96, 100, 101. I will wait till about 120 and I will start. Those who have not come in yet, you can still come in even after I start, yeah? Just click the link. Very good, you guys are fast. Those of you who are already in, warm up a bit, get your finger ready, get your calculator ready. And we will start now. Those who has not come in yet, you can still come in, yeah? Don't worry. All right, happy answering. Ifan got the first question right already. Good job. Answer carefully, yeah? I see some wrong answer already, but don't worry, keep going. Ira Safrina is staying strong at the first place. Okay, most of you can answer the question pretty well. That's good. Okay, ada yang sudah habis. We wait for our friends who are still answering ya. Yang masih lagi jawab, slow, don't worry. Take your time.
Mana Wak?
Very good. A lot of you got all correct. Well done. Okay, while we are waiting for your friend, I will give you another link. For those who have finished, I would like you to, let me bring up the link first. So give me 3 words that you have learned from today's, from the section 1, okay? From section 1, write down 3 words from all that you have learned. But I need to give you a link. Which I will put in a chat session in 1 minute. Okay, for those of you who have finished, check in your chat session. Okay, click on this link and give me 3 words that you can remember from our section 1, from our what we have just learned. Okay, after you have answered your quiz. While we wait for your friends who are still answering. Almost done. Some of you have about 2 or 3 more questions. Okay, those of you who have finished, remember to go into the new link. Give me 3 words from what you have learned today so far. Okay, this is the poster that you are creating by giving me the 3 words. Let's see what this poster will look like after all of you put it. Okay, we have about 5 more students who are still answering the question. Overall, all of you answer the question more than 80% accuracy. That is really good. Okay. Yeah, this is session 1. You're right. Okay, so let me show you your, for those of you who are still answering, you can go ahead while I show the rest what your poster look like. We have about 61 of you who has completed, 62 now, the poster. I'm sorry, I'm not that efficient with Zoom, but this should work. Okay, so here is your poster of what you have learned today. So the biggest word we can see on the screens are current, voltage, resistance, parallel circuit. So that means those are the answer most of you give me. All right. So those smaller words, we have fewer students put in. Oh, resistance, this is a wrong spelling, but that's okay. Ohm's law, ammeter, volt, parallel, how to calculate. You learn how to calculate, very good. How to find voltage, formula of circuit. All right, that looks really good. Okay, so it's 3:30 now. Before I go into the second section, shall we take 5? Cikgu Dr. Aniza?
Okay.
Yeah. Can we take 5? Let the students, while they are still answering, we will kita sambung balik 3:35 lah.
Boleh.
Ataupun okay. We'll come back 3:35. So those of you who are still answering, you can keep going. It's okay. And then 3:35, I will stop both activity and we'll go into the next half for a moment of pause.
Cikgu Teo, while they are answering, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Berbalik kepada soalan yang PT3 section A Q question 2 tadi, objective question tadi. What is the reading of the ammeter? I tak dapat tangkap lah yang you punya explanation tadi tu. Sebab I rasa macam I tak boleh. Can you explain back to me? Boleh tak?
Boleh.
Dia ada lita tu ada 4 volt and then 2 rintangan 6 ohm and 3 ohm tadi kan?
Ya.
Why does we get the answer 2.0 ampere tu? Can you explain back to me boleh tak?
Boleh.
Okay.
Nampak tak?
Nampak? Ya, nampak.
Okay, so kita nak cari ammeter kan. Ammeter ni dia duduk sini, so dia keseluruhan.
Dia akan jadi 6 rintangan 6 tambah 9 tadi lah ya.
Ya, yang rintangan di sini, the resistor here, they are actually parallel to each other.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So we want to find the resistance first. Okay. So 1/R sama dengan 1/R1, 1/R2. So daripada R ni, R sama dengan 2 ohm. Boleh faham sampai sini tak?
Boleh.
Yang 2 ohm ini datang dari mana?
Yeah.
Boleh kan? So this is the effective resistance for the whole circuit. Kan? Okay, so kita nak cari I. I sama dengan V bahagi R.
Okay.
So V tu kita ambil yang keseluruhan juga 4. Dan R tadi kita dapat 2.
Ya, betul.
So 4 bahagi 2 dapat 2.
Okay.
Boleh ya?
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, let me check the quizzes. We'll see if all of you have finished. Oh, ada lagi yang tengah jawab, ada yang masuk lambat quiz tadi tu. It's okay, keep going. Oh, I see one student answering it for the second time. Very good. Thank you for doing it again. Okay, some of you go back in to answer for the second time. Okay, so only one student is still answering. The rest of you have finished. Good. Let me. All right, can we start with our second section? If you are ready, give me a 1 in a chat session. Type 1 in chat session. Okay, we have 1. Okay, a few of you are ready. Yes, now I see a lot of 1. Very good. Let me know you're still here. Oh, Irfan tulis ONE terus. Very good. All right. Macam mana kan? Kenapa dia macam ni? Oh, no. Now, if you can see my screen, okay, saya rasa tutup lagi tapi good. Okay. If you can see my screen, write down in the chat session, yes, YES. Tak tidur, semua ada lagi. Very good. Now, let's go to chapter 8. Chapter 8 is actually one of my favorite chapter because when I was in school, when I was in Form 1, Form 2, I think that in Form 1 or Form 2, okay, this was my favorite topic because I find it easiest. But somehow, when it comes to calculation, a lot of my students from my school find it difficult, which is why I choose this topic to help you revision today. Okay, so our main topic or the main goal that I want to teach you is that you can find moment of force. But before we find moment of force, we have to understand the basic concept behind it, which is lever. Okay, which is lever. Now, lever is actually a type of machine. Before we go to lever, can you write down one type of machine that you use every day? Is there any machine that you use every day of your life? You cannot go by one day without using it. Put it in the chat section and tell me what kind of machine that you use every day. For Tekutio, oh, the broom. Very good. So you sweep the floor every day. I need you in my house. Spoon. Oh, wow. Pencil. For me, it's my handphone. I'm not talking about simple machine, right? Any machine. Is there any machine that you use every day? Spoon, koe, elbow. Very good, elbow. Haras. Seesaw, you use seesaw every day? Do you go to playground every day? Ha, ni PKP mana boleh pergi. Scissors, you use scissors every day? Toothbrush. Toilet. Okay. Calculator, what do you count every day? Nail clipper. Okay, so we have someone give me nail clipper. So I think her nail grow very fast. Every day he needs to use that flask. Okay, rice cooker. Do you cook for your family? Vacuum. All right, very good. Now, lever is also a type of machine. Some of the machine that you give me, you name for me, which is very good. They are very simple machine, like toothbrush, pencil, and some of you give me very canggih punya machine, like rice cooker, washing machine, smartphone, vacuum. Okay, so this machine, okay, we are going to look at only one type today. That is called the lever. Lever is a type of simple machine. And it is actually a bar that rotates on a fixed point. Rotate means that it turns around. It goes round and round on a fixed point. And it has three very important parts, which is the fulcrum, load, and effort. Okay, so lever. Lever helps us to do work more easily. As any machine, all machine is supposed to help us to do our work easily. And also, it allows us to use minimal force. Okay, maksudnya kita guna daya yang sikit untuk buat kerja. Berbanding dengan kalau kita tak guna mesin. Okay, so for example, we lift up a heavy load or we try to remove a nail. If you don't use the machine, you don't use this plank of wood here or the hammer, it will be very difficult for you to lift up this heavy load or to pull out the nail. The machine will help us to use minimal force. So classification of levers. Okay, lever, they can be classified into three types and their names is very simple. First class, second class, and third class lever. And in the lever, how do we know which class they belong to? It depends on the position of fulcrum, load, and effort. So three very important terms and a password. You need to remember this password in order to log into this account, okay? In order to log into our moment of our lever, okay? Our lever. How do we know which class? Remember this password, FLE. This is your password, okay? Everybody, F, L, and E. I will show you how to use this password later. Okay, so what is F? F is our fulcrum. It is actually a fixed point. It is a point. And what is L? L is our load, which is the object that we want to move. Okay, the object that we want to move. And what is E? E is effort. Very good, Christina. E will be our effort, the force applied on the bar, which is where your hand is. When we look at the machine later, when we look at the lever, you look for where your hand should be. That will be your effort. Okay, so FLE is our password. So how do we use our password? First class, we look at the password. Which one is your first letter? FLE, which one is the first one? Yes, it is F. So from the password F, we need to put it in the middle. That is our first class level. So the first class level, the middle one must be fulcrum, must be F, because the password F, first one is F. Okay, first class, so the middle one will be fulcrum. And then load and effort can be anywhere. Load can be in the front, effort at the back, or effort in the front, load at the back. That's okay. As long as the middle one is fulcrum, then it is first class level. Fulcrum is in between load and effort. Okay, as long as fulcrum is in the middle, that will be the first class level. Look at some example. This is a pliers. Okay, a pair of pliers. Where is your hand? When we use the pliers, 1, 2, 3, where do you put your hand? Put it in the chat section. Number 3, very good, Christina. Okay, so 3 will be effort. Remember, Cikgu Teo say, where is your hand? That will be effort. Where is the object? We'll use pliers to cut wire. The object will be at number 1. Yes, very good. Okay, so number 1 is where the load is. Now, fulcrum is a little bit more difficult to identify, so we leave that to the last. Number 2 will be your fulcrum. That is the fixed point. Okay, so this is a first class level because if you draw a line here, 1, 2, 3, number 2, the middle one is fulcrum. F is in the middle. How about this one? 1, 2, 3. Let's look for effort first. Always look for effort. Which one is effort?
3.
3. Yes, because that is where your hand is. Okay, where is the object? Your load. 1. Very good. Yes, 1. Because that is your lead. You want to open the milk powder. And where is your fulcrum? The fixed point?
2.
It will be 2. Okay, so this is your first class level. All right. Second class level, again, we go back to our password. The second word is L. So this time we put L in the middle. Okay, second class, load is in between fulcrum and effort. So now tell me, where is effort for nutcracker?
3.
Is very good. Very good. Where is the object, the load?
2.
Fulcrum?
1.
Very good. Good job. Third class level. Now, what is our password? Remember our password?
FLE.
FLE. So the third word will be E, and E must be in the middle. Okay, effort is between fulcrum and load. Now, again, where is effort?
2.
Number 2.
Okay, some will tell me number 3. You cannot possibly put your hand here. It will be number 2. And where is load? Object?
1.
Fulcrum?
3.
Perfect.
3.
Perfect. Very good. How about fishing rod? Where is effort?
2.
3.
3. 2 is your effort. Where is your object? Where is the load?
3.
Fulcrum?
1.
So that is a little technique there. Every time we look at the lever, we find effort first, then we find load, and then we find fulcrum. That way you minimize your chances of getting it wrong. Now, what class of lever is this? First, second, or third?
Third.
Okay,
Third,
someone
je.
put down
Third.
comment.
Third, je.
Okay. Yes, it is third because the middle one is effort. How about this one? First, second, third.
First.
Teacher.
How about this? Wheelbarrow.
Second.
Second.
Okay, FLE. The L is in the middle. How about this?
Third.
Third, je.
Yep. Okay, this is a third class lever. Now, how about hammer? Now, listen, before you answer my question, there is a tendency of some students, they will memorize. Okay, first class level, here are the examples, second class example, third class example. I don't want you to memorize. Why? Because we have hammer A and hammer B. Are they from the same class of lever? Because we use it differently. For hammer A, we try to nail a nail into the wood. For hammer B, we try to remove the nail from the plank. So A and B, are they the same class of lever?
No.
Oh. So A and B, who can tell me what class is A?
Third.
Third class level.
Yes, third class, because effort is in the middle. How about hammer B?
First.
Yes, it is a
First.
first class because it is fulcrum in the middle. Okay, so it's very important you can identify fulcrum, load, and also effort, because that will help you understand the moment of force. Okay, moment of force. So now let's go into moment of force. What is the moment of force? Moment of force is force acting on an object. It can rotate the object at a fixed point. So when you try to push or pull, force is actually push or pull. So when you actually push or pull on an object, that object will start to rotate at a fixed point, and the turning effect is called the moment of force. Okay, the turning effect is called the moment of force, and you will see a lot of these two things. Number one is the force, second is the perpendicular distance to the fulcrum. So moment of force depends on force and distance. Force, what kind of force? The force that we apply. What kind of distance? The distance from the fulcrum to the force, and it is perpendicular distance. Perpendicular means 90 degrees. So some examples of the moment of force will be when you use a wrench, okay, or spanner, okay, wrench to try and loosen or tighten a nut. So you have a fixed point, you have your force, perpendicular distance, and also when you open a door. Okay, your fulcrum here and your distance between your force. Where's your force? Your effort, where you pull the doorknob from there to the fulcrum. Okay, so that's your distance. So how can we calculate moment of force? We want to calculate the moment of force. Again, F and D. Okay, F, force, perpendicular distance, D. And two very important things you need to know is, number one, when we use the force, it must be in Newton. Second, the distance must be in meter. Okay, so the unit for moment of force is Newton meter, Nm. Okay, and how do we calculate it? How do we use this formula? So we look at one example here. So the moment of force will be force times perpendicular distance. That is our formula. So where is the unit is Nm. So from this picture, we already know we have 50 Newton. We have F, but we do not have distance in meter. The question gives us 20 centimeter. So we need to convert this into meter first. How do you convert centimeter to meter? How do we convert? Huh?
Divide by 100.
Yes, divide by 100 first. So we have 0.2. We have Newton, we have meter. Now we can go ahead, dot up 50 times 0.2, you have 10 Newton meter. Okay. And then example 2, same thing. You have Newton, you have centimeter. So we have to settle the centimeter first. Again, divide by 100, you get 0.15. And the Newton times meter, we have the answer 1.5 Newton meter. This look relatively easy, very simple, right? But we need to apply this concept into lever in a little while. Okay, let's look at the moment. Continue to look at the moment first. So the moment of force will increase if the magnitude of force increase. You push harder, then the moment of force increase because our F increase. Instead of using 10 Newton, you use 20 Newton. Of course, the number will be greater. And also, if you don't change your force, you use 10 Newton, another one, you also use 10 Newton, but you increase the distance, it will also increase the moment of force. For example, the pictures here, the wrench. Okay, so the first one, the moment of force 10 times 0.1. It is 1 Newton meter. But if you move your hands further away in this wrench, okay, letak belakang sikit, you will find that it's easier for you to tighten or loosen the nut. Why? If you calculate the moment of force, it actually double. Because 10 newtons times 0.2 is 2 Newton meter. That is why when you use the wrench, hold as far as you can from the nut. It will make your work easier because you only need a smaller amount of force, okay? Because of this concept, the moment of force. So how do we use that on a lever? Actually, a lever, we can also see the moment of force. because the load and effort, they are both force. Okay, the effort comes from your hand and the load comes from the object. Both of them apply force to our lever and they have their distance. So the principle of moments of lever is when load times the distance of load from fulcrum. So the moment here, the moment of load. So F, the Newton here, that comes from load, times the distance of load from fulcrum, meter, okay, is equal to effort, and the effort, the moment of force that caused by the effort, which is effort times the distance of effort from fulcrum. The lever is then said to be in equilibrium, or they are balanced. Okay, so load times the distance of load from fulcrum is equal to effort times the distance of effort from fulcrum. Okay, let's look at one example. So the diagram show that there are two children. Okay, we have Jia-in, we have Wei-hong. Jia-in is lighter. Jia-in is 200 Newton, but Wei-hong is heavier. So Wei-hong cannot sit at the back. If Wei-hong sit at the back, Jia-in will go flying up and cannot come down already. So how do you make it balance? Okay, how do you make it balance? You need Wei-hong to sit closer to the fulcrum. So the question tells you already that Wei-hong 300 Newton is 2 meters away from the fulcrum. Now, what is the distance of Jia-in from fulcrum? That's what the question wants, so that the seesaw is balanced. So we want to find D. Okay, so here is our formula. Load times the distance of load from fulcrum is equal to effort times the distance of effort from fulcrum. So that should be easy. So 200 times D equals to 300 times 2. Okay, so if I want to find D, 200, we need to move it to the other side. Yes, very good, Umae. Umae already direct message me and give me the answer. Okay, so D equals to 300 times 2 divided by 200, and we have 3 meters. Don't forget your meter. Okay, Christina also gave me the right answer. Very good. How about this example? Okay, I will give you a little bit of time. Okay, try and answer this question. First, we will read the question together. The diagram shows the man try to move a boulder. Boulder means very big stone, very big rock. That is 100 kilogram, using a small stone as a fulcrum. Distance between the boulder and small stone is 0.5 meter. Distance between the man and the small stone is 2 meters. What is the effort required by the man to move the boulder? The question did not give you Newton, but the question tells you 1 kilogram is 10 Newton. Okay. So I'll give you, say, 2 minutes. Try and calculate the effort. If you got the answer, you can directly message me in the chat, or you can just put it in the chat for everyone. Okay. Anyone got the answer? Okay, I have Shami give me the right answer. Very good. Shami, that's right. Alif, that's right. Oh, Danish. Sikit lagi. Ada satu step belum buat. Danish Haziq. The answer that you gave me equals to the moment caused by the stone. There's one more step. I want to find the effort. Hanisha, very good. Yes, Danish, you got it. Umae, good. Very good. All right. Thank you for giving me the answer. Now let's look at the steps. So 100 kilogram, how much is that in Newton? So do not be careless. Every time when we do calculation, you have to pay attention to the unit. Okay, so 100 kilogram, do not use that right away. Do not use that right away. So 100 times 10 equals to 1000 Newton. So now you can use that. 1000 Newton times 0.5 equals to effort times 2, because effort is 2 meters away. So now you can find effort by moving 2 to the other side. And effort is 250 Newton. Okay, most of you that give me your answer in the direct message in the chat section is correct. Well done. Now, question 1. The following diagram shows lever J, K, and L. Okay, this is a PT3 format question. Choose the correct statement based on the diagram. Let's look at J. Okay, J, it is 1 meter away. Your effort. K will be 2 meter away. L 3 meter away. A, B, C, D, which one is the correct statement? Give me your answer in the direct message in your chat session. Aiman, Haziq, very good. Nurin, cuba lagi. Umair, yes. Nurul Alia, try again. Syami, betul. Haziq, betul. Alif, betul. Husna Zai. Sudah naik ke atas dah. Sorry. Okay. Many of you are participating, so some of you cikgu tak sempat nak baca. I'm sorry. So, but let's have a look. All right, everyone come back to the screen. The answer is B. Okay, why? Because the further away, remember the further away, the least effort you need, right? For this type of question, if you cannot analyze, just look at it like that. Okay, kalau tak pasti, we give it a number. Kita bagi dia satu value dulu. Okay, we assume a number because this is a objective question. Okay, this is an objective question. So we can assume that the load batu ni kali dengan distance of load from fulcrum. Okay, batu ni the load times the distance is 12 Newton meter. You can choose any number. So let's say Cikgu Teo's number is lucky number is 12. Okay, I just put down 12. So for J, K, and L, it is 12. So for J, 12 equals to efforts times effort di sini times 1. And efforts is 12 Newton. For K, efforts times 2. So 2 times 6 equal to 12, right? So effort becomes 6. And for L, 12 equals to effort times 3. Effort becomes even less. So 4 Newton. So when we go back to our question, least effort is needed for level. J is already wrong. For L, yes. C, 600 Newton effort is needed to lift up the rock in level K. We don't know because the question did not tell us how much does the rock weigh. So C is also out. D, the least effort is needed when the distance of effort to fulcrum is equal to the distance of load to fulcrum. We also don't know. Okay, because we don't know how much the rock weight. Actually, it's not true because the fulcrum needs to be very close to the rock and very far away from our effort. So D is also out. Okay, so C and D we know immediately is out. It left A and B. If you are not sure, assume a value. Okay, for the load times distance of load from fulcrum. Okay, that is a little trick. Okay, how about this one? The diagram shows the moment of force produced when a door is open. If the moment of force used to open the car door is 70 Newton meter, calculate the amount of force exerted by the person opening the car. Say you are opening the car door, okay, 80 cm from the fulcrum. And the moment that you use will be 70 Newton meter. Okay, can you calculate the force that is exerted by the person? Try it and let me know what's your answer. Alif Haikal, yes. Good job. How about the rest? Christina, yes. Okay. Hanisha, yes. Harashami, no. Remember, Harashami, you forgot to look at centimeter and meter. Okay. The rest of you, betul. Faris, no. Faris, I'm not looking for distance. I want you to find the force. Umay, yes. Betul. Ira, yes. Betul. Amir, betul. Amin, betul. Okay, good. Okay, ada beberapa orang yang silap. Zakwan, yes. All right, let's come back to the screen. Everybody, let's come back to the screen. And Cikgu Teo is going to show you how we solve this problem. Faris, no, try again. Okay, first, when we see this type of question, list down all the information that we have. Okay, so we know moment of force is 70 Newton meter. We know the distance is 80 centimeter. Something is wrong here. It's centimeter, wrong unit. So we need to change it to meter later. And the question wants us to find force. Okay, force, the unit should be Newton. Okay, when you list this all down, now it's easy to find. Okay, so moment of force equals to F times D, Newton times meter. And 80 centimeter, we need to change that to meter first. So 80 divided by 100. Okay, so we have 0.8 meter. So 70 moment of force equals to force times 0.8. We don't know the force. We want to find force. So force equals to 70 divided by 0.8. And we have 87.5 Newton. Okay, so all of you who have given me the answer 87.5, very good. But remember, you have to put down Newton. And one more thing I forgot to mention earlier, when you write Newton, when we write N, it must be capital letter. Okay, for unit and Newton, some of you give me small letter. In exam, that can cost you some marks, yeah? Boleh ditolak markah. Because N, if you use only N, it must be huruf besar, big letter M. But if you write Newton, N-E-W-T-O-N, 87.5 N-E-W-T-O-N, if you write the whole word, then it must be small letter. Because Newton is comes from a person's name. Kalau dia datang dari nama orang, when we use N, huruf besar. Kalau kita tulis perkataan Newton, huruf kecil. Okay, senang nak ingat, guna huruf besar N. Okay, jangan tulislah Newton besar. Okay, so another question. This comes from section C. Okay, a portion of a question from section C. This shows a gardener trying to carry a soil in wheelbarrow. Calculate the force applied by the gardener to push the wheelbarrow. Remember, this is our formula. And this question is a little bit tricky. Why? Because this is not a first class level. What class level is this? Can you remember? Can you identify? Huh?
Second.
Second.
Second. Because the load is in the middle. So same thing. The load and the distance of load from fulcrum, okay, times the moment of load equals to the moment of effort. Effort times this fulcrum. Okay. So now calculate the force applied by the gardener. Okay, let's do this together. Okay, time is running short. It's already 4:07. Okay, so first we list down all the information. We list down all the information. You have load equals to 600 Newton. And the distance of load from the fulcrum, the question did not give us. The question only gives you the distance of load and effort. It is 1 meter. But you have from fulcrum to effort is 1.5 meters. So what is the front here? How do we find that? 1.5 minus 1. So we have 0.5 meter. Okay, so tricky part is here, ya. Sini soalan cuba nak tipu orang kan. Okay, tak apa. So we know it's 0.5, not 1, ya. Because we must find the distance of load from fulcrum, from the wheel. That's why you need to know where is the fulcrum. Okay, so 0.5, and then effort we don't know, we want to find. And then we know distance of effort from fulcrum is 1.5. Once you have all this information, then we can write it down. Okay, so load 600 times distance 0.5 equals to effort times the distance will be 1.5. So effort equals to 600 times 0.5 divided by 1.5. And with the help of the calculator, we can find that it is 200 Newton. All right. So I actually have another quiz. I don't know if we have enough time to finish answering it, but it's okay. I will start the quiz. If you cannot answer it, you don't have time to finish it, you can continue to answer it when we finish our session at 4:30. Yeah. So let me give you the link. Let me give you the link in 1 minute. Well, I try to generate the link for you. Okay. We have about 11 questions for this quiz. And I will start it now. And you can get the link from the chat in 2 seconds. Okay, here is your link. Okay, I have 28 students coming in already. 40 students. I will start as soon as we hit 100, yeah? We have 75. Okay, 90. 92, 95. All right, I will start the quiz now so that you can start answering. Those of you who are still coming in, you can still go in. And while I look for the link for the notes for you to download later if you need it. Okay, I can see that this is more challenging. Okey, ada yang sudah siap jawab, ada yang masih lagi menjawab. Alright, Syami, good job. Semua betul. Hakimi, probably one or two mistake. Aiman, one more question. Okay, we have 120 over 126 players. So those of you who are not participating in the quiz, if you want the quiz question, maybe I can share the link with your teacher. Okay, same thing for those who have finished. I will give you a link. You can write down what you learned from session 2, okay? I'll give you the link in the chat. Okay, you can come into this link to give me 3 words from session 2. Well, your teacher also give you an announcement. Those of you who have not filled in the Google form, there's a link for you to fill in so you can get your certificate. Okay, about 70%. Good. FLE, force, load, moment of force, Newton, first class, Fulcrum solution, 3 class of level. Very good. Power, did we learn about power? Meter, yes, you have to change centimeter to meter. Load and effort, calculation, moment of force. Very good. Okay, I will leave both link open so that those of you who still want to participate can participate. Well, I'll just show you. So as let me put it in a easier. Okay. Seperti kawan kamu Anik cakap tadi, okay, cikgu ada, I have some collection of videos and notes. If you would like to look at some of the videos from previous chapter in mainly Form 2, yeah, Form 2 DLP, Form 1, I have not done any VLP materials. If you want any materials for your revision, you can scan the QR code here. Okay, this is for my collection. So in every chapter, so far I have updated up till chapter 8 and 9. Most of the videos, especially the old one, will have the, especially the new ones, you can find in the description the link for notes as well that you can use for your revision. So if you would like to have those notes, I can share the link with you, or you can scan the QR code. Okay, let me get the link. Okay, I'm sorry, I know it will block you, but let me copy. So here is a collection of all the videos and the notes to help you with your revision if you are interested. Okay, and the rest of you, if you have finished answering both the 3 words and also the quiz, if you know how to annotate, you look at your screen on top, you can see option, view option, there is annotate. Oh, I think your teacher disabled the annotate. That's okay. It's okay. We don't need that. Okay, so how do you find today's session? Are you able to understand? If you're able to understand, give me a 1. If you still need more help, you can put a 2 so your teacher can reach out to you in the chat session. Oh, most of you give me a 1. Thank you so much. If you still need help, you can put a 2 there and your teacher can reach out to you. Or most of you give me a direct message. Well, thank you very much. I will hand the time over back to Cikgu Dating Aniza.
Okay, thank you Cikgu Teo. Okay, pelajar-pelajar ada nak tanya soalan apa-apa ke pada Cikgu Teo?
Ada, semua faham.
Cikgu faham. Okay, so kalau tak ada apa-apa, kita serahkan kepada MC untuk majlis penutup. Okay, so MC boleh take over.
Terima kasih Cikgu Latin. Terima kasih Cikgu Teo sudi luangkan masa ajar kita orang pada malam ni. Jadi dengan ini berakhirlah slot ketiga program kolaborasi kita. Jadi sebelum kita mengakhiri majlis, saya nak menjemput saudara Wan Syafrul Ilham bin Wan Syahrizal untuk menyampaikan ucapan selaku wakil pelajar kita.
Tes, dengar Dengar.
Dengar.
Saudara. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Saya ucapkan kepada pengetua-pengetua sekolah kolaboratif yang dihormati, penolong-penolong kanan, para penceramah dan guru-guru mata pelajaran sains serta rakan-rakan yang saya kasihi sekalian. Pertama sekali saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada semua sekolah yang sudi hadir dalam program kolaboratif ini. Terima kasih yang tidak terhingga juga diucapkan kepada para penceramah kita selama 2 hari ini yang sudi memberi ilmu kepada kami. Tidak lupa juga pada guru-guru mata pelajaran sains yang bertungkus lumus mengadakan program seperti ini. Saya berharap agar pihak sekolah boleh mengadakan program kolaboratif ini pada masa akan datang agar dapat mencapai kecemerlangan bersama, insyaAllah. Seterusnya, saya berharap agar rakan-rakan saya terus berusaha dalam menuntut ilmu walaupun dalam keadaan yang penuh dengan cabaran pada masa kita harus tabah dalam menuntut ilmu untuk kebaikan diri kita pada masa hadapan. Akhir sekali, walaupun pada tahun ini kita as pelajar tingkatan 3 tiada PT3, bukan bermakna ianya satu kebaikan kita kerana ilmu ini akan diguna pakai juga pada tahun-tahun akan datang. Sekian saja daripada saya. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Ilham. Jadi dengan ini saya ingin menjemput Encik Amir bin Ya, penolong kanan 1 SESMA untuk menyampaikan ucapan. Segala hormatnya dipersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Boleh dengar kan?
Dengar.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih kepada pengerusi majlis saudara Anik daripada Star Ipoh. Yang dihormati Pengetua ada dating? Pengetua?
Tak ada, PK ada.
Okey. Yang dihormati PKP daripada STAR, Ustazah saya dimaklumkan, PKP mungkin daripada SERATAS ataupun daripada SDS ataupun mana-mana yang ada lah. Kemudian cikgu-cikgu sains daripada STAR, terutamanya kepada Datin Aniza, kemudian cikgu-cikgu sains daripada SESMA dan juga daripada SERATAS. Okey. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okey. Yang pertama sekali saya nak mengucapkan setinggi-tinggi tahniah dan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan kepada pihak penganjur iaitu STAR Ipoh kerana menganjurkan satu program yang saya kira sebagai satu yang sangat-sangat baiklah, sangat-sangat cemerlang. Okey. Mengambil kira suasana kita dalam pandemik ini, jadi kita dah mengalami PDPR yang sebegitu lama. Jadi mungkin kita boleh mengalih pandangan ataupun mengalih view pelajar kita kepada program-program semacam ini supaya mereka lebih bervariasi, mempelbagaikan kaedah mereka belajar. So saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada pihak penganjur kerana menganjurkan satu program yang collaboration yang sangat-sangat cemerlang. Okey. Jadi begitu juga dengan penglibatan penceramah yang begitu baik. Saya sebenarnya mengikuti secara rapat ketiga-tiga penceramah daripada Cikgu Durasnita daripada SEDA. Kemudian pagi tadi saya ikuti juga Cikgu Farah Asnida daripada Alam Syah yang merupakan bekas teman cikgu saya, sama-sama cikgu di semesta Raut dulu. Dan juga saya juga mengikuti rapat daripada Cikgu Teo. Jadi saya tengok tadi memang mereka ni mempunyai keistimewaan masing-masing dalam memberikan ceramah mereka kepada semua pelajar-pelajar. So saya harap sangatlah supaya pelajar ni mendapat ilmu yang betul-betul secukup-cukupnya dalam masa 3 slot yang kita ikuti dalam masa 2 hari ni. Okey? Jadi guna tengok pelajar-pelajar menggunakan ruang yang pelajar pun saya tengok mengikuti jumlah pelajarnya adalah mengikut jumlah sekolah yang telah mengikuti program ini. Okey. Jadi apa yang menariknya ialah kalau kita tengok pada dah 2 tahun belakangan ini memang kita tak ada PT3. Jadi saya kalau boleh, saya sangat berharap kepada pelajar-pelajar tingkatan 3 ni, kita jangan set minda kita untuk peperiksaan. Terutama daripada kata 1, 2 dan 3. Jangan kita exam oriented. Kita kena belajar dengan tujuan untuk menguasai ilmu sains dan juga menguasai ilmu matematik. Menguasai dengan untuk menghadapi peperiksaan adalah dua perkara yang sangat-sangat berbeza. Jadi saya mohon sangat, contohnya saya tengok pada ceramah yang disampaikan oleh Cikgu Farah tadi. Macam mana cara untuk mensebarluaskan bunga daripada bunga. Benda-benda ini awak tak semestinya relate kepada untuk menjawab soalan peperiksaan. Jadi kita boleh tengok pada keadaan sebenar. Jadi terutama sekali ada yang pelajar yang jawab, kita kena pelihara lebah supaya dia boleh menyebarkan bunga-bunga tersebut. Jadi itu satu perkara yang sangat relate dengan kehidupan kita seharian. Jadi saya nak kalau boleh pelajar-pelajar ini menguasai ilmu sains dan juga menguasai ilmu matematik. Sebab benda ini adalah konsep-konsep asas yang sangat penting untuk kita bawa ke alam kita di menengah atas nanti. Sebab dalam sains nanti dia akan pecah kepada fizik, kimia dan biologi. Jadi banyak benda lagi yang awak perlu tahu di peringkat menengah atas. Jadi konsep menguasai ilmu sangat penting daripada awak tekan kepada menghadapi peperiksaan. Jadi of course lah awak ada peperiksaan nanti, PPT pun ada, peperiksaan akhir tahun pun ada. Jadi peperiksaan akhir tahun, jadi tidaklah sebagaimana pentingnya peperiksaan PT3. Jadi awak kena kuasai ilmu. Dengan menguasai ilmu, dengan sendirinya awak akan cemerlang dalam peperiksaan. Okey. Jadi saya nak kalau boleh pelajar-pelajar semua berpegang kepada itu. Tambah lagi lah sekarang ni dengan keadaan awak sekarang ni dengan pandemik COVID-19, awak sebenarnya ada masa yang banyak, masa terluang yang sangat banyak sebab kita menghadapi PKP, PKPD, PKPP macam-macam lah. Jadi oleh kerana itu awak banyak masa untuk explore banyak benda melalui internet, kemudahan iPad yang awak ada. Okey? Jadi awak boleh memperluaskan lagi penguasaan ilmu terutama dalam subjek-subjek sains. Dan awak pun boleh dah mula sedikit demi sedikit untuk mempelajari bidang-bidang kimia, biologi dan juga fizik dengan tidak secara langsung. Dan juga jangan lupa juga matematik. Jangan lupa sebab awak akan menghadapi subjek matematik tambahan pada peringkat menengah atas. Okey? Jadi awak juga beruntung sebenarnya awak berada pada tingkatan 3 yang mana sekarang ni adalah pada tahun kedua kita menghadapi pandemik COVID-19. Jadi bila tahun kedua ni guru-guru kebanyakannya dah ada pengalaman untuk menghandle PDPR, untuk buat PDPR kita secara menarik. Jadi ada tuahnya awak ni untuk berada pada tingkatan 3 pada masa ini. Sebab apa? Selepas pada ni kita tak tahu macam mana berlaku. Sukar untuk meramal. Banyak ketidaktentuan yang akan berlaku selepas pada ni. Jadi kita kena bersedia dengan apa yang kita ada. Okey? So saya rasanya tidak nak bercakap panjang. Sekali lagi saya nak ucapkan terima kasih, jutaan terima kasih kepada pihak penganjur kerana menganjurkan satu program yang sangat-sangat baik ini, dan insya-Allah saya rasa mungkin adalah nanti mana boleh berkolaborasi secara pelajar sama pelajar. Mungkin kita boleh buat satu project based learning, bentuk kumpulan sama-sama sekolah, bagi satu projek boleh buat sama-sama. Sebab pelajar STAR pun dia ada iPad, pelajar SESMA pun ada iPad. Jadi boleh buat kerjasama. Mungkin boleh difikirkan pada masa hadapan. Okey. So sekadar itu saja daripada saya. Dengan ini, dengan lafaz Bismillah, Operation Science tingkatan 3, STAR, SERATAS, SESMA dan juga SDS. Okey, sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.
Terima kasih Encik Amir. Sekarang saya menjemput penolong kanan pentadbiran Sekolah Tuanku Abdul Rahman untuk memberi dan juga menyampaikan ucapan penutup kita pada hari ini.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Terima kasih ya moderator kita Hanik, yang berusaha penolong kanan daripada SESMA, Encik Amia. Terima kasih. Sebenarnya saya dah bagi ucapan pada permulaan semalam ya. Begitu juga dengan penolong kanan SERATAS Puan Hasmiza dan semua guru-guru panitia sains ya. Jadi syabaslah di atas kejayaan perjalanan program kolaboratif kita pada 2 hari yang telah berlangsung ini. Okey, dan diharapkan untuk seterusnya kita akan pergi kepada fasa yang seterusnya. Mungkin idea yang bagus ya daripada Encik Amir. Okey, untuk kita berjumpa sesama yang tutor dan sebagainya kan, pelajar dengan pelajar dalam dalam program yang seterusnya insya-Allah. Okey. Jadi semoga pelajar semua mengambil manfaat ya. Semoga di sini ada impaknya ya untuk kita terus cemerlang di dalam bidang sains ini. Okey. So saya sudahi dengan wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Cikgu. Untuk mengakhiri majlis, saya menjemput saudara Ashraf untuk membacakan doa penutup majlis kita.
A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal 'ashr innal insana lafi khusr illa allazina amanu wa 'amilus solihati wa tawassaw bil haqqi wa tawassaw bis sabr.
Terima kasih Ashraf. Jadi dengan ini berakhirlah sudah program kolaborasi panitia sains kita. Jadi akhir kata saya ingin memohon maaf jika ada salah bahasa dan juga jika ada mengguris hati-hati yang sedang melihat sekarang ini. Jadi dengan ini berakhirlah sudah program kita.